How you doing, guys? This is Al, and today I want to talk about more about psychology of the business. And I know I promised you in previous videos that we're gonna start doing marketing, but I decided that we're gonna start to build first the character of the business person, and then we're gonna start with marketing, sales, and everything else because um, if you first build the house and then foundation, obviously it's not gonna work out. Because if you build the wrong foundation to build a house, it's not gonna work. You have to take off the house and rebuild the foundation. So it's the most important thing. And before we're gonna start building our house, building our business, let's start with this foundation. So the most important thing in business that every businessman, every salesperson, every CEO, every manager needs to learn psychology. It doesn't have to be psychologist, but he has to at least know something. For example, there is a psychology of eight vector psychology. They call it eight vector psychology, and at least you need to know that because when the person comes to the store to buy something from you, and those vectors they have different colors. So I'm gonna for example, they have anal, they have urethral, they have, and every one of them has a color. They have muscles, and for example, muscles vector is black, and urethral is red. So right now I'm gonna talk about colors, but I'm gonna make separate video for everyone, for each vector separately, so you will have idea exactly what they mean. But for example, if the red person with the red vector comes in the store and you don't know there is that vector, most likely if you gonna treat everybody the same, it's not gonna work because for example there is a vector that a brown one that he wants to come couple of times to the store before he makes his decision, and there is a red one, the urethral vector, that he makes decision which he could do decision right away, and it doesn't really matter on the price of the product, and it doesn't really like all this $9.99, $7.99. Also, they don't like that. And if you don't know all of that, and you deal with him like with everyone, like any other customer, most of the time, or you're gonna lose this customer, or you're gonna close not the best deal for the company, or sometimes sometimes you close the deal but you could do better deal. So if you know all that, it's gonna be much easier for you to close the deal. And another thing, if you hiring person for your company and you can't tell what kind of vector this person belongs to, if you make this mistake and you put him in the wrong position, no matter what you do, no matter how much time and effort you're gonna spend on this person and teach him and try to make him best salesman, it's not gonna work. For example, if you take the black vector, which is a muscles vector, a person who usually works, is good employee. I'm not saying it doesn't he likes to work more physical. I'm not saying that he doesn't work with the head, but his priority is to work physical. His priority is to, and most of the time he gets frustrated when you give him task with to work with papers or close a sale, or even worse if you make manager from that person, because he doesn't like to be manager, he doesn't want to be manager. And if you don't know all of that, if you can tell that person is black and that person is red, which is urethral, which is the leader, usually the red one, the urethral, is the leader. The presidents, all the CEOs of the company, most of them, the big companies, they have that more with that urethral vector psychology. And it's not that he has only urethral or only black muscles vector or anal. It means that he has every one of us has all 8 of them, but some of them we have higher percentage, like for example urethral vector person, the leader, he might have 60% of his urethral vector, and all other vector he has like 40%, let's say that, or something like that. So his main vector, we're talking about the main vector, you need to decide, because every one of us has a little bit of everything. So once you can decide, once you can tell that person has main urethral vector, and they usually very good start-uppers, for example, they like to start up the business. Another thing, that they don't like to finish those businesses or manage them, so they find managers, they find different vector, person with different vector to manage it. They find person with different vector to work there as employee in different position, because every position, if you put, for example, black vector, which is muscle vector, in position of accountant or salesperson, no matter how much time you're gonna spend teaching him, no matter how much trainings you're gonna send him to, no matter what you're gonna do, it's not gonna work out. Never. Because that person with the muscles vector, which is black, he prefers to work with his he prefers physical work. So these people usually, they're great employees, they're great if you give them task and it's physical task. For example, you have moving job, and that person is the best as the mover. It's not if you put him as a manager of the company, if you put him as a salesman of this moving company, you're just wasting your time, and sooner or later, or he's gonna quit or you're gonna fire him. So no matter how much effort you're gonna have to try to teach him, it's just not gonna work. I mean, it's the same thing if you salesperson in the store, and it's exactly the same thing when person comes with the store to the store and his urethral vector, red one, and the salesperson comes to that person, comes to him to that customer, which is urethral vector customer, the red one. We'll call them colors right now. Then we'll go right to every one of them, and I'll give you all the names also for every vector. if salesperson comes to him right away and tell him about discount that we have $9.99, that you lose this customer right away. The customer just leave the store. First of all, they don't like discounts. They don't like all this. If they see the right product, doesn't matter how much it costs. It doesn't matter the money, the price comes the last. First, if he likes the product, if it's exactly what he needs, 90 even percent of the chance that he's not gonna even bargain with you. He's not gonna even ask you discount. He doesn't even like all this $9.99. And the second of all, this person is the leader. This person is usually the CEO of the companies, the presidents. If you come to him and you start selling him, they don't like that. They like to call salesperson when they're ready. They like to look at the store, give him some time, give him 5 minutes. He looks around, then he sees salesman. Once he sees salesman and he look at the salesman and he keeps eye contact, that's probably is calling the salesman. Or you can just ask for salesman. I mean, either way. But you can't just come to him and start selling him. You're just gonna lose him. So it's very important to learn this psychology. It's not complicated. It's only 8. We're gonna cover every one of them in each video. And once you know that, you're gonna increase your sales. And if you run in the company, and next time when you hire somebody, you know which you have to put him in which position, as a HR manager or accountant, because you can't put person with the red vector with the as I say, I'm gonna call them in colors, it's easier for me. You can't put person with the red vector to position as accountant, because they're leaders. You can put him general manager. You can, if he's I mean, you can't put him right away as a general manager, I understand, but you can't give him to do task as a vector with a different personality. And if you do that, the same thing. Doesn't matter how much money you waste on him. It doesn't matter how many trains you're gonna do to him. It's just not gonna work. He's never gonna be great accountant because it's not his personality. If you're gonna put him in a moving company and you're gonna put him as a moving, first of all, he's not gonna go for it. Second of all, if he has no choice, if he got fired from somewhere, trying to get a job until he's figuring out his things, he's gonna quit next day, or you're gonna fire him. So you have to first you need to understand which vector psychology this person is, and then you put him in the proper place, and then he's gonna be happy. Then he's gonna give you a lot of profit for the company. Then he's gonna be very productive for the company. And the second of all, if you know all that, it's gonna be much easier for you to manage your company. Much easier, because most right now, if you're struggling in your company, if you have problems, it means that some of the people, they're not in right positions, or you just have wrong people. Because if it's productive person, but his vector psychology is red, and you put him in the wrong position, as I said, it's not gonna work out. So no matter how much effort you're gonna put in order to change them, nothing is gonna happen. So there is 8 of them, as I said. We're gonna cover each of them separately. I just want you to understand that before we're gonna start marketing, sales, and everything.